Dauphin Island. It's a little lighter as we head to the east, but this is on top of a lot of rain that we saw last night, over 6 inches of rain in some spots, and we're getting more this afternoon. We also still have extraordinarily high tides. High tides right now occurring, and with that swell coming in, we got tides running about 3 to 4 feet above normal. I was over on the eastern shore earlier today, and we had a lot of problems along the eastern shore. Parts and pieces of people's wharves and piers were starting to break loose, and it ended up washing in towards Mayday Park. That was one location. Also, the causeway remains closed, so we have some issues with high water. We have issues with heavier rain, and also we could see a couple of stronger than average thunderstorms with this kind of setup. Now let's take a closer look at radar right now, and I'll show you what's going on with this as it's lifting on through the area right now. We have heavier rain bands coming through Mobile County, and this is a closer look right now around Mount Vernon and down Highway 43, some heavy rain. That's pivoting through Mobile and over towards Dauphin Island. If we look with our high-res radar here, along this edge from Biola Battery to Theodore into Mobile and all the way up towards Saraland, we're getting some very, very heavy rainfall right now. It's a very active weather pattern for us this afternoon, and it should continue to stay active as we go through the afternoon hours. And there is the possibility of a couple of thunderstorms being stronger than average. So far, the main issue has been the potential for flash flooding in the area. I want to pull up the alerts and I'll show you where we stand with that. Most of the area is under a flash flood watch. So just to highlight some of this stuff for you, these areas here, flash flood watch with a coastal flood warning, Mobile County and then the south part of the county from some of the coastal flooding, we're seeing that. Then the maroon coloration here, that is a flash flood warning that's currently up for Washington County, Mobile County, Greene and George counties, and that will be in effect until 6:15 tonight. Flash flood warning, and from the National Weather Service at 12:10 p.m. Doppler radar indicated bands of heavy rain moving across the warned area. Between 4 and 6 inches of rain with localized totals over 9 inches have fallen in the warned area, and bands of heavy rain are training over these areas, capable of producing an additional 1 to 3 inches in a short period of time, and so excessive runoff from the heavy rainfall could result in flash flooding. We continue to monitor that possibility. We've seen a lot of flash flood warnings issued, but so far we have not had widespread reports of flooding, but now the ground is getting saturated, so this is something that we're certainly going to have to continue to watch through the afternoon. So there's your flash flood warned area: Jackson County, George County, Mobile County, part of Greene County, and then southern Washington County, all in that flash flood warning. And if you want to see what's actually going on with Cristobal, the center of circulation is up into northern Louisiana and southern Arkansas. So the storm itself, the center of it, is going up the Mississippi River, and then what we're seeing are these trailing bands which will continue through the afternoon. There's always some enhancement with daytime heating on the outer bands of a remnant tropical system or a tropical system that's in the process of winding down, as we're seeing with Cristobal right now. And I do expect as we get towards the evening hours, as we lose that instability and the circulation starts to go further north, that our rain showers will begin to diminish somewhat. But in the meantime, real active. One band in Greene County and George County, another band from Washington County down through Mobile County and all the way down towards Petty Boy Island. Inland spots seeing some rain as well. Very, very busy day again today. And let's look at some rain totals, and we'll back this up some. This is going to be a 12-hour, actually a 24-hour rainfall total. So it's just loading up now. And look at that streak over western Mobile County. A lot of this falling in the last 24 hours. This is not a total for the actual storm. I can actually do that for you. So we'll get that pulled up here. Let's see. Observed precipitation accumulation. We're in a 24-hour count. The banner is not going to change, but the data will. So this is actually a 40. This is going to be a storm total right here. This is how much rain we've seen from Cristobal. And look at that, right out on the state line between Mississippi and Alabama in George County, 9.2 inches of rain has fallen. This is very close to what we expected. We were saying, hey, 4 to 6 inches, some spots as high as 10. And yeah, we've seen generally about 4 to 6 inches. We've seen some spots that have been higher. Look at Eglin Air Force Base with some rain. Baldwin County, some parts not as much as Mobile County. A little bit more of a westward focus to the rain, but we've also seen a maximum over to the Florida Panhandle. So that shows you why we're in that potential for flash flooding. The ground's saturated from all the rain that we've seen, and we're seeing more rain on top of that. So that's a storm total. We might save that one and use that one later. As far as the severe risk for today, let's take a look at that. This is lower. We did have a slight risk for severe weather, and that slight risk shading has been reduced, and now mainly we're in what we have as a marginal risk over most of the area. There is a little technical slight risk shading in the far northwest corner of Clark County, but the severe risk for this afternoon and tonight is generally a level 1 marginal risk for severe weather in our area. Currently, the only watch we have is a flash flood watch. There's not a tornado watch out, but anytime you have a landfalling system, you have to watch for the possibility of isolated tornadoes. The good news is that we're not currently in the northeast quadrant of the storm, and so the quadrant of the storm that we're in right now is more the southeast quadrant of the storm, and so that's typically a less conducive for rotating supercells or seeing small spin-up tornadoes that would be in some of the outer bands, rain bands, but it's not completely out of the question to see a couple of storms get out of hand or even see a brief spin-up tornado or certainly some waterspouts closer to the coast. Here it is right there on our composite reflectivity. A band of rain coming through Mobile right now with some downpours. Gusty winds with this too. And I want to take a look at some of the wind gusts if I've got them pulled up in this particular weather hit here. So let me just see if I can find those here. If not, I'll dig them up a little bit of a different way. This is going to be the sustained winds presently. And so this is why we are having problems with coastal flooding. At Dauphin Island, we've got a south wind at 24 miles an hour. This is a long fetch of south wind piling the water up into Mobile Bay and up on Dauphin Island. So that's why we still are seeing the coastal flooding situation. And we've seen gusts that are likely much, much higher than those readings right there. We're going to see some wind gusts that could be very, very impressive today as we are still in the outer impacts from Cristobal, so the possibility of seeing gusty winds is something that certainly is going to be updated and continuing through the day. I want to switch it back over to our peak wind gusts. I'm in the process of pulling that up right now, and that's going to be a plot, so let me get that going here. And this is what we're doing. I'm just getting in for the day. I just took over from meteorologist Michael White, going ahead and starting. You're kind of getting a first-hand view of the process of going through and analyzing the data and getting ready for this afternoon's broadcast, which will be coming up on Fox 10 News at 4 p.m. Of course, if we do see severe weather or anything like that breaking out, we'll go on a little sooner. But I'm just going through the maps right now, seeing what we have, kind of what the lead is, and certainly coastal flooding, gusty winds. Those are all things that we're going to continue to have to watch out for across the Gulf Coast region this afternoon. All right, let's go back to radar so that you can see an overview of our tropical system and the bands of rain that are occurring within the system. Our center of Cristobal, currently located here in northeast Louisiana and southeastern Arkansas. Rain bands are setting up on the southeast flank of the storm. These have been slow to move. Once they set up, they may sit in place for a good 45 minutes to an hour before they finally shift further to the east. This one particular band has shown some movement, but the rainfall totals have been very, very high in a short period of time. As we look further to the north, Greene County getting some heavy rain up near Leakesville, also back towards Bendale, heavy rain near McIntosh. We've got a cell there that's bowing out a little bit. That's very likely to have some gusty winds. Also some showers up 43 in Grove Hill. This particular band here should continue pushing a little more to the east. It may set up over on the eastern shore. Let's do a 1 hour loop of this. This is going to take it back 1 hour and show us the progression. So in about an hour, it has moved from West Mobile in western Mobile County into downtown, but there's still some redevelopment down here. We've not seen a lot of movement down here around Bala Battery and Grand Bay. That's a concern, showing very slow progression of this line down on the southern end of it. That's why we have some flooding concerns there. We got to watch these rain bands this afternoon. We'll keep an eye on it here on Facebook, Fox 10 News, and also on YouTube. We are on both of those two platforms. We'll be updating our fox10tv.com within the next hour with an update there, and preparing for Fox 10 News at 4 and 5 p.m. We'll have some live reports in the field. We'll show you some of the damage and some of the flooding from today. We'll also talk more about rain, what we're tracking, and when this will finally get out of here, coming up on Fox 10 News at 4 o'clock.